Have you ever changed 2D borrowing photo into 3D photos, which is logged into cinematic mode? This tutorial is for you. Today guys, I just want to show you how to change 2D photos into 3D photos. This is a simple trick. I'm going to use two different softwares, Adobe Photoshop and Adobe After Effects. That Photoshop is gonna help us to separate subject and background, and then we're gonna import all those two images inside Adobe After Effects and start to animating. Guys, this is very simple. So now let's dive in on it. Let's see how it is. Yes guys, so as you see here, this is the image which I'm going to use. So the things I'm gonna do, I'm going to import it into Adobe Photoshop. So now let me open up this Adobe Photoshop and let me import my image. Okay, yeah, this is my image. Just click here on open. So the things I'm going to do, I'm going to separate this background and this subject. So I'm going to select this subject by using this quick selection tool. Click here on it and then let me select this subject. Okay, I just want to separate with this background. The subject must be on one layer and the background must be on other layer. Okay, so let me select well as possible. Okay, this is good. Okay, let me use this subtract from selection, and then let me select here between those arm and body. Yeah, this is good guys. After selecting this image, make sure you have been selected well, and then click Ctrl+G on your keyboard to separate with background. So when I mute this layer, you see I have the subject only. So now the things I'm gonna do when I mute this subject only, I still have the subject here on this background. So the things I'm gonna do, I'm going to select again, and then I have to click here on this background. So let me mute this subject only. So now I have to select this background and on this subject. Okay, so now come here on this edit, go here on fill, and then you have to choose this content aware and then press OK. So now just wait a little bit. So now it's going to remove this subject. Guys, as you see here, this is my background only. Okay, so now click on select, click on deselect. So when I open up this layer, you see I have the subject. So now I have been separate subject with background. So now the things I'm gonna do, you see here on this my background, I still have some details on this background. So now I'm going to use this tool which is called the spot herring brush tool. Click here on it, and then you have to make sure this brush is hardness a little bit. Okay, you can just increase the size. So now you have, let me increase the size again. You have to delete these details on here on this background. Okay, you see the detail is removing. Okay, so let me try to remove all detail as possible. Yeah, this is good. Yes, I'm done. Okay, so when I open up this subject only, you see this is perfect. And if you want, you can add some blurriness on this background by go here on filter, click here on blur, go here on Gaussian blur. So you can increase some blurriness if you want. Okay, you see the brightness is increasing to my background, so I can increase like a 9, then press OK. Then when I open up these, you see the image is very separated with background. So now the things I'm going to do, I'm going to export two different images, one image of subject and other image of background. So first let me save this subject image. Okay, so now go here on file, click save as copy. I have to save as in PNG format. Okay, so now click here on PNG and then let me rename it that subject. Okay, and then click save, click OK. Okay, this is subject only. So now let me save the background. Okay, only. So now go here, click save as. So for this background I can choose GPH, it doesn't matter. Let me call it as background. Okay, this is good. Then click save, click OK. So after do these things, now I'm going to jump in Adobe After Effects to import my images. Let's jump on Adobe After Effects. So now click here on composition. First I'm going to create the composition. Okay, so it has the full frame width 19 to 28 1080. Okay, so the background color is black. So for this composition I can call it a 3D photos. Okay, then click OK. You see the sequence is already created. So now I'm going to import my images. Okay, the subject and the background. Okay, so this is my subject and this is my background. Click here on import. So first let me add the background here. Yeah, this is my background. And then the second one, let me add subject here on the top of this background. Okay, you see how it is. So as you see here, my image is very zoomed. So now I'm going to select those two images and then click here on S to scale, just like this. Okay, you see those two images is already scaled together. This is better. Okay, so the things I'm going to do, I'm going to animate the background and my subject. Okay, so let me increase a little bit. So for example, let me select together and then let me increase a little bit. Okay, just like this. Okay, so now first I'm going to animate this image. I have to use position. So now click here on this subject and then press P on your keyboard. You see I have received the position. Okay, so and I'm going to use like to zoom, like to move around. Okay, so when I press here position for adding keyframe at the beginning of this on this timeline, when I try to move this blue line is like here on like 10 seconds. Okay, so let me try to move my image behind here. Okay, this is great. So when I play, you see how the image is going on. Okay, this is better. So I can increase mine just like here. Okay, so when I try to pray, you see how my image is going on. Okay, this is better, guys. Okay, so and I'm going to increase the size of this subject by using scale. Okay, so now press S on your keyboard. You see I got a scale. So now I'm going to add some keyframe on the beginning of here on this timeline. Okay, and then move again where my position the frame is. Okay, so now back here on scale. So now I can increase, for example, like this one. Okay, so when I try to pray, You see how my image is moving on one side and it comes too big. Okay, this is better. Okay, so let me go here on the background. Okay, for this background I'm going to animate this background. Okay, and then let me start it by P. For position, press P on your keyboard. The position it will becomes here. Okay, so now click here for adding a keyframe on a position on the beginning of this timeline, and then move this blue line here. Okay, so now let me move, for example, like here. You see how it is? Okay, so when I play, this is how the stuff is going on. The background is moving aside and this subject is moving to another side. Okay, so now I'm going to increase or scale this background, then click S for scale, and then click here to add a keyframe here. You see the keyframe is here, and then move this blue line here, and then let me increase like this background, just like this one. Okay, so now let me try to play. Then you see, guys, how the stuff is going on. This is beautiful. And guys, don't forget to smooth this keyframe. Okay, let me go here on subject first. Okay, let me find first the keyframe for position, then select this keyframe for position for those all, and this background, let me find P for position. Okay, so now let me select those keyframe, right click here on it, and then click here on keyframe assistant of this easy. Okay, to smooth. Okay, and then let me click on S for scale, and then select those keyframe, and then right click here on it, click here on keyframe assistant, click here on easy, or you can use shortcut F9. Okay, so this is better. Okay, when you play, this is beautiful, guys. Man, this is very dope. Okay, so if you want, you can just extend the time line between those two keyframes, and P, you can increase this P here. So when you play, you see how the stuff is going on. Or just I can bring it here, and X I can bring in the front, just like this one, guys. This is cool. Okay, so let me add some effect on this frame. So let me import these practicals. Okay, these practicals, it's like snow which is falling down. Okay, comes from up to down. So now I can put it on the top here. You see, this is my, let me call it as a snow. Okay, click here on this layer of this snow, and then come here on toggle switches. You can click on come toggle switches, and then when you find this normal, you can open up this normal, and then click here on the screen. You see how the stuff is going on. Okay, so I can duplicate by Ctrl plus D this no, I can, for example, yes, increase how the stuff is. Man, this is beautiful. Okay, so, and if you want, you can add like this light leak. Okay, so now when I put it here on the top of this video, this is how the light leak is going on. Okay, so now again, you can do the same as this. Now click, open up this normal, and then click here on screen, and then this is how the stuff is going on. You can add any effect you want, but let me mute this light leak. It's not necessary for me, but if you can just use it, there is no problem. Okay, so now this is how my effect is. This is how you can create these 3D parallel photos. This is how you can create this effect inside Adobe After Effects. Done. This is how you can change your 2D photo into 3D photo. Very simple. If you like my video, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and drop your comment down below. I know this video is very helpful to you. See you next video. Peace.